So for this problem that we copied down yesterday, they're asking us to do a couple things. They're asking us to give the domain and range of each relation and interpret them in its context. Its context basically means book sold and price. If you remember from yesterday, our domain is our x coordinate, our y is our output, which is our, this is our input, this is our output. So we would probably say domain and then these numbers, smallest number to biggest number, and then in the context of it. So for the domain for the first one, you would write that the domain is 2, 3, 4, 5, from smallest number to biggest number, no repeats. The context it is the 2, 3, 4, and 5 stand for books sold. The range is before 6, 7, 9, and the context is it's the price of the books. So that means you would write the range is 4, 6, 7, 9, price amount. Okay, and then the next thing that we need to do or understand is that all of these are the same representation. This is in table form, this is in graph form, this is in mapping form. All of these three things mean the same thing. This is my domain, which is 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my domain, which is 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my domain, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you notice, they're all books sold, books sold, books sold. My range, aka my output, is the price, which is these numbers. And again, look, the price, which is these numbers, the price, which is the same numbers. On the next thing they're asking us to do is state the corresponding output. Okay, so this is our output for the given input in its context. This is our input. So not that it's very difficult, it's because we have 4 outputs and inputs, so inputs and outputs, sorry, that we have to actually write what it means. It's not difficult, but it is a lot of writing that we have to do. The first one would be the input is 2 books sold, which means its output is $4. The next one is the input is 3 books sold, the output is $6. The next one is 4 books sold, the output is $7, which we write that down and we get that. Next one is the input is $5 and 5 books, sorry, and the output is $9. So this is just basically saying what you put in, what you get out in the context. So my input was $2. What I got out was $4 for those 2 books. Okay. The last thing they're asking us to do is explain whether the relationship is a function. So that means that for every x here, there's only one answer there. For every x here, there's exactly one answer. For this x, look, when I plug in 3, I only get one answer, which is 6. I plug in 4, I get one answer, which is 7, and so forth. The easiest one of these graphs, tables, and mapping to figure if it's 1-to-1, it would be this one right here. If everything here on the left side goes to exactly one thing on the right side, then it's a function. It would not be a function if, let's say, that 2 went to 4 and 6. This wouldn't work because that means that when I plug in 2, not only does it give me 4, but it gives me 6. That means it's not a function. So, since everything here has exactly one answer on the output, that means that this relationship, or this relation, is a function. Each domain value is paired with exactly one range value on the other side, one range value. So every number here has exactly one answer there. So for this problems, they're asking us to use the vertical line test to determine if each relation is a function, and you have to explain. Okay, again, to be a function, that means that for every one of these x's right here, there's only one value from this line. So what happens is, if you draw a straight line anywhere on this graph, anywhere, a straight line going up and down, you will notice that it only crosses it at this point right there. One answer. That means, let me give you an analogy, okay? So right here, this is -4. For this -4, which is x, you only have one y value, which is this other -4. That means for this husband, -4, he has exactly one wife right there, one answer. So this would be a function because it is a 1-to-1 function. Every x value has one y value. That makes it a function. For every x in this domain, there's exactly one y in the range. If you look at the one on for B, if I make a straight, let's just say make a straight line right here. I want you to notice, though, it has two answers. This means this 4 right here has this answer, whatever this number is, and it has, if I go up and I go across, has that answer. So think of it as this right here is a husband, and now it has two wives. That is illegal. One husband cannot have two wives. That means that one x value cannot have two y values. That is not correct. So that means because I drew a straight line and it crossed this graph twice, then it is not a function. So not a function because not 1-to-1. That means that for every, that means that the x value has two y value answers. Okay, I'm explaining a lot more on number 4A and 4B, okay, than I have to. So this piece right here is your extra explanation. The next one right here, again, draw a vertical line going up and down. And if you notice, it crossed here and it crossed there. Okay, that means this x value has two answers. This is one x value right here. And it has two answers. That means it's not a function. Not a function. Because not 1-to-1. Okay, again, this x value right here has two y answers, which is a no-no. The last one on this page, we draw a straight line going down. And look, again, two answers for x. It has this answer for y, and it has this answer for y. You cannot have one x value. This right here is one x value. This is all one x value. And it has two answers. So one husband in the domain cannot have two y's in the range. It's illegal. So this means that this is also not a function because not 1-to-1. So this one you guys had to do, and this problem you had to do independently. So I'm not going to erase any of this right now. I'm just going to point at things. So if you look, again, this graph right here, I could draw multiple lines. And if you notice, this 5 only crossed once at 3. Then I crossed this right here. Look, only crossed once. It has one answer, a little bit less than 3. I crossed right here. Look, my answer would be -1. Every x value that I plugged in, I only got one y value. That means this is a function. Anytime I draw a straight line up and down, it only touches this blue graph once. It is a function. Look at this one. This is my function right here. This is absolute value function. This v, upside down v. If I draw a straight line, look, it only crossed it once. I drew a straight line in the middle. Only crossed it once. I'm not saying that you have to do multiple lines, but I'm just checking. Right here, look, I drew a straight line and it only crossed that blue line once. Drew a straight line, crossed it once. That means it is a function because for every x value right here, there's exactly one y value. For this x value, there's exactly one y value. And same thing here. This is also a function because for every time I drew a straight line, look, it only had one y value. One answer, one answer, one answer.